Oh man, hey, what's the deal? That's your boy Tag from Pro Wrestling Tag. You know what I mean? As of this recording right now, it is 11:30 p.m. October 5th, 2025. You know what I mean? A little bit of a real late video. You know what I mean? On the Sunday night. This is the last video of the night, the third and last video of the night. You know what I mean? And I got to talk about this because I'm shocked that nobody, and I mean absolutely nobody, ever brought this up. Period. You know what I'm saying? Now, every wrestler, it don't matter who you are and such, right? They all have, a name or a couple of name changes until they find the right one, right? And this happens all the time, right? All the fucking time. It don't matter who you are, right? You go, it's just like, it's the equivalent of, repackaging yourself, a gimmick change and such. A name change basically is just that. It goes along the lines of, a name change and a gimmick change and a repackaging, which I'm going to be making a video of, in the next few weeks. So look out for that. But with teams, again, you try to find your names, you try to find names that, that fits, that's like a moniker for yourself, right? I mean, The Rock had what? Flex Cabana, right? That was the name he started out with, Flex Cabana. Then Rocky Maivia, and then The Rock, right? The Rock is basically what is the name that he stuck with, right? But Harlem Heat, shout out to Harlem Heat. Harlem Heat is hands down one of my favorite tag teams of all time, bar fucking none. Them, the Steiners. Yeah, I mean, like my Mount Rushmore of tag teams, honestly, right, would pretty much be, Harlem Heat, the Steiners, the Road Warriors, and let me see, who else was a great fucking tag team that I enjoyed? Let me think. I'm trying to think. Heart Foundation. Who else? The Hardys, Edge and Christian, the Dudleys. But if we're talking about ring names for teams and such, and individual names, Harlem Heat before Booker T and Stevie Ray. And I know about the gimmick. They hired two dudes who came out of jail. You know what I mean? And with fucking shackles and such, to beat the shit out of people. That would have been intimidating enough. But it's the ring names that they gave them. And again, I'm shocked that nobody ever brought this up. I'm shocked, period. I don't know if I'm the first person ever within the pro wrestling atmosphere to ever bring this up, but fuck it, let's discuss. One of them, I don't know which had these names, right? Could have been either, Booker T or Stevie Ray who had one of these names. Cole and Kane. Cocaine. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Like, how the fuck nobody brought this up? You know what I'm saying? I don't know who it was again, I don't know who it was who had which name, but one was named Cole and one was named Kane. This was in WCW. Cocaine. Kane and his brother Cole. And you mean to tell me that nobody ever acknowledged that? Nobody ever acknowledged that? Yo, you might as well just come out, with a team that, have, one named Mara and the other one Wanda. Mara, like, when I saw that from Harlem Heat, I'm like, yo, how the fuck that? I know for a fact that they wouldn't allow that shit. Absolutely fucking not. Cole and Kane. You kidding me? You fucking joking with me? I'm like, yo, B. And they had, of course, they had to come up with, with actual names and such, right? Booker T, Stevie Ray. You know what I mean? Because Booker is actually his real name. His real name is Booker Huffman. I think it's, Stevie Ray's name, I think is Stevie Huffman as well. But, dude, to come out with those names as a tag, for the members of a tag team, I'm like, yo, dude, that shit is fucking, that shit is nasty work. That's just nasty work, B. Like, it's funny, since I'm using the word, since I use slang and such, right? There's a side note, and I'm gonna try to find the link. Shout out to this dude named Rich Homie Ed, because he's talking about New York slang from New York lingo from back in the days, right? He's like, yo, I miss New York lingo. I do too, and this lingo that I still use. You know what I mean? Like B, or like, yo, Duke. Yo, what up, Duke? You know what I mean? Like, I still use some of that. You know what I mean? Like, B, like, yo, it's popping. You know what I mean? Like, son, like, yo, son. I still use that. You know what I mean? And he was talking about how, people use gang and stuff like that. I understand what he means. You know what I mean? Like, New York lingo now is just trash. Like, come on, man. Shit, I remember, like, back in the 2000s, you know what I mean? Like, girls in New York was telling each other to suck their dick. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? But that's a whole different ballgame. Going back to this shit, you will never, ever in your fucking life see a tag team who has a crazy name like that. Cole and Kane. Like, come on. 8 Ball. That's another thing, right? Skull. But 8 Ball, they're talking about, from DOA. Talking about when you play pool, bah. You know what I mean? Speed, crack. Imagine someone named Crack. Imagine someone named Crack. But no, actually, a lot of people also seem to forget that there was a guy in WWE who his name was Key, right? And this is like in the Attitude Era. I think he teamed with Droz, but he was apparently, I kid you not, on everything that I fucking love. You know what I mean? He was he was a drug dealer. He had the gimmick of a drug dealer wrestling. Like, yo, this shit is nasty work. This shit is, imagine, yo, B, imagine if, Cole and Kane, if they still allowed, if they allowed Harlem Heat to let them use those names, and then Key, was their manager. Like, what the fuck? Yo, son, I'm dead ass serious, B. I am dead ass, yo. Like, yo, that shit is fucking crazy. I mean, listen, I've heard ridiculous ring names before, but not like this. Not like this, B. Cole and Kane. Wow. And nobody ever brought this up to Booker T. Nobody ever brought this up to Stevie Ray. How the fuck did y'all miss that? Cole and Kane. Like, I'm going to try to find, early WCW matches of Harlem Heat, and to see if they got, if they got those names. If they do, then I'm going to put that shit in the description, because I'm like, yo, that's fucking insane. Marijuana, cocaine, crack, or how about heroin? Heroin. Like, yo, what the fuck were they thinking? I don't know who came up with that. I don't know if it's Harlem Heat who came up with that. I don't know if it's Booker T or Stevie Ray, but, and a side note, they asked Booker T about the Harlem Heat name, right? Like, why you chose, the name Harlem Heat. And Booker T even said, like, Houston, it just doesn't sound tough enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, You know, he chose it because he respects Harlem and such, right? And I even made a video about that too. Like, I don't think none of them ever went to Harlem. None of them. Hell no, none of them. You know what I mean? Like Booker T and Stevie Ray, they sound too country. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. But those names, Cole and Kane. Oh man. Gotta love professional wrestling, man. I'm about to be out, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna definitely holler at y'all tomorrow. I got a feeling there's gonna be some news because the whole ratings thing and such that we're hearing, you know what I mean? I'm hearing a lot of crazy, I'm hearing a lot of crazy shit, B, about some of the fucking you know, the rating, you know, the ratings mythology and such, you know, and some contract news. It's gonna be interesting. So I'm gonna holler at y'all. Peace.